Hey everybody, and welcome to another fantabulous episode of Taletraeder Camp for Wayward Adventures. As you may or may not have already noticed, I am not Claire the DM. My name is Joyce Murphy. I'm a good friend of Claire's, and I am filling in for the time being while we kind of go on a little adventure. I hope you're, strapped in and ready to go for a fun night of adventuring. I'll be sipping away at some Jepson's Malort. I encourage you to drink age-appropriate beverages responsibly. But before we hop into it, I think a great way to start is by communicating expectations, norms and expectations specifically. It's something that I kind of got into while playing a wonderful game, Punk's Been Dead, that I believe I already streamed on this channel if you want to travel back in time and watch that at some point. But I think communicating norms and expectations at the beginning of any tabletop role-playing game usually gets people off to like a really wonderful start. The norms and expectations are probably pretty standard on this channel, and they're probably not pretty crazy things. The number one is no hate speech. We all love role-playing, we all love getting into character, just as long as the characters we're getting into aren't terrible, malevolent people that make people at the table we're playing with uncomfortable. So we're gonna kind of steer away from that. Additionally, another norm and expectation that I like to set is that none of us are experts. This is fully a game, and it's a game we all have to play together. So I'm never going to be a huge stickler about the rules. I'm never going to be, constantly looking things up. I kind of like to just do a lot of the role playing in the moment and kind of figuring things out based on that. Aside from those two norms and expectations, the kind of third and final unofficial norm and expectation that I usually like to set is that we are all going to figure this out together. There is no one way to do this adventure. If there was, it'd be kind of boring. So we're going to kind of figure that out all together. I'd love to throw it to the players now. If there's any sort of norm or expectation or kind of goals or things you want to accomplish on this, little adventure, I encourage you to kind of share those right now.
I think a norm for me is I really like having kind of the space to take time for the silly bits.
Yeah.
And then also something that I've been really getting invested in recently, and I think would maybe be fun to try on this adventure, is kind of doing between PC chatting. I saw on another stream where it's like the pull somebody along mechanic that they use, and I think it's really cool. And like basically what that means is like instead of you having a conversation with an NPC or going and doing something by yourself, like you pull somebody along or you pull somebody else into the conversation. Yeah. And I think that's a really cool mechanic. So I'm going to personally be trying maybe to do a little bit more of that. So
I love it. Thank you. Does anyone else have any kind of expectations or norms or kind of fun things they want to try out while we discover this world together? Sick. With that out of the way, let's hop right into it. And I think a great way to start is by introducing our player characters. I, as you know, and I've been very transparent about, am not Claire. I'm not as familiar with these characters as I think y'all are. So I'd love to kind of just hear about, your characters from your character's perspective. As we kind of get into the game, one thing I usually like to do is refer to people primarily by their character names. I think it helps with the world building and immersion and all those fun things. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you about this player character right here, Joyce. So I actually am very excited to be playing this game, specifically a version of D&D 5e that is set at a summer camp. Because a fun fact about me is I spent 6 years of my life working at a summer camp. And I started as a counselor in training, and by the time I left, I was the program director of the camp, which is pretty sick. And it was really a wonderful kind of experience for me. And when I interviewed for my job at the summer camp, one of the first questions they asked me was if you could wrap any animal in tinfoil, what would it be and why? And so my answer is the answer I have given for countless years, and that is that I would wrap a squirrel in tinfoil in the hopes of making some sort of cyborg robotic squirrel. Additionally, I think it would, be able to move around so quickly that it would just really kind of just be the optimum, animal covered in tinfoil. So when I throw it to y'all to introduce your player characters, I would also like your player character to answer the question, what animal would you wrap in tinfoil? It's a question very near and dear to my heart. So to start off, I'm going to pass it to player character Linden Kennedy.
Oh God. Hey, my name is Linden, and I am. How do I describe me? Let's start with I am a soccer player. I am a fighter. I will fight anything that moves. Just give me anything and I'll fight it. Lately, I recently discovered, despite living with them for my life, that half of my family are druids, and I knew nothing about that. The other half are wizards. You know what? I know even less about that. So yeah, the druid side, they're Circle of Stars druids, and so over the last year, I spent time studying that with my sister, and now I can do some cantrips, and everyone thought I couldn't do magic, but now I'm out here, I'm doing magic, and I'm kicking stuff, and life is good. So yeah, that's me. Oh, and I love social media, so follow me on there. I rebranded. I'm just at Linden Kennedy now. I took out all the extra characters, so it's easy to remember. And if I could wrap any animal in tinfoil, I think it would probably be like a baby wolf that I could raise to be my best friend and child and companion and bestie, and I would make the tinfoil look really cool, like hammered armor.
Yeah. So like this, it's great because when you initially like brought up the tinfoil, I was like, is this some sort of like rescue blanket that you have like you found this little baby wolf pup in the woods, and you've wrapped them in tinfoil to keep them warm. But I like it more that it's like this armor you've built.
Oh, hell yeah. Sorry, I'm still getting a lot of hot sound from Lyndon's mic, so I was trying to help troubleshoot that in the back end. But
my sound also just cut out, so I did not hear.
Oh no!
What you said.
I was just talking about whether or not the tinfoil you were using on the wolf pup was some sort of emergency blanket. It is neither here nor there. But anyway. Is there anything else you want to share about Linden for the folks watching at home?
No. You'll probably figure some stuff out. She can't shut up, so sometimes you might need to just put some duct tape over her mouth and call it a day.
Aggressive.
Duct tape?
All right. Moving on to our next player character, we have Buddy of God.
Yes, I am Buddy. Yes, I am Buddy of God, a dog. And to answer your question, I would put a dog in this tin foil. We already do this back at home. Very very innate stylings, perhaps. I wouldn't say that we use tin foil, more like silver. But yes, to answer your question.
Thank you, Buddy. Anything else you want to share with the folks watching at home?
No.
Bless. Next, we have up Azar Alda.
Hey, what's up? I'm Azar. I am a campfire guitarist. I'm very into like acoustic covers. I really came into my own last year when my parents finally gave me their blessing that I didn't have to join their band. I think they're really amazing musicians, and it would have been cool, but punk isn't really my scene. And so yeah, I am a 6'2" red tiefling, and I wear my hair in like braided pigtails around my horns, and lately I've started taking like the ends of the braids kind of out to, give a little bit of a freestyle vibe. And I wear, my main outfit choice is very white Air Force Ones.
Do you ever run into any issues like out in the woods, or are these Air Force Ones that have either been, hexed or enchanted so that they just always stay
Yeah,
white?
I'm not much of a cleaner. So they do
Gotcha.
stay white on their own. And if I were to wrap a animal, I think I would wrap a turtle shell, like a tortoise, because my understanding of physics, which I will admit is limited because I am not very studious, my knowledge of physics would make me think that would keep the tortoise kind of cool, reflecting the sun away from it. Seems right.
We love an environmentally conscious adventurer.
Aoife, is that right? Yeah.
Just looking after the tortoises,
Yeah, like, so I think if the tortoise was warm, it would keep the heat in, but the tortoise is not going to be warm. So I think that, yes, I think it would reflect.
It would also be kind of cool because you could have like a little silver like thing crawling along the ground. I think that'd be kind of cute.
So cute.
And then I'd write a song about it.
Wow. An artist as well. Azar, is there anything else you want to share with the people watching along at home?
I don't think so. I'm kind of long-winded, so I'm known for going on too long. So I think we'll cut it here.
Bless. All right. So our next final, but not least of all, last player character. And forgive me because you definitely had me pronounce this a minute ago. Aoife?
Aoife.
Aoife.
It's all good.
Aoife.
Yeah. So I think Aoife, would probably be worried about the animal. So I think I would pick a porcupine because that way there would be air holes as soon as I wrapped it. So there would be like no problems with oxygen there. Yeah, and then anything else I want people to know? No, just having a little bit of a weird time lately with my love life, but we're gonna get through it.
As we always do. Now, I unfortunately I don't think it is physically possible for us to recreate this, but on various soap operas or reality TV shows or what have you, at the beginning of the new episode, there's usually like a 1-minute recap of the final episode. From the player character's perspective, what would be kind of the 30-second elevator pitch for where you are at in your journey?
Well, last we saw ourselves, we were fighting some creatures of our own creation around the fire pits, and we had kind of beefed it, gotta be honest. And so we took care of that. We got our campers all kind of settled. We did some aftercare vibes, and then we had a little run-in with a couple of different books, actually. So Linden's brother Forrest has a book, and Linden herself has a book. And if Linden or anyone else wants to discuss the books, please.
I do have a book, my book that appeared in my room one day last summer, called The Influencer's Only Guide, which I proceeded to drip my sweat into as it suggested I do. And I said, of course, what's not to trust? And basically it just taught me everything I know about like this journey that I'm on in my influencer quest to become famous. So I don't know, like some other people think it might have something to do with Fierna or like another creature of hell, but I'm really believing in it and it's working for me. So
I am one of those someones. I am not happy about the book. I'm trying to get us to like get an adult here.
Who knows a little bit more about the book?
Yeah, I definitely did also call the like healer counselor to come and remove the curse, but it did not work. So, you know.
Solid. And so I'm assuming as this last adventure kind of winds down as well, y'all went to bed. Do y'all live in the same cabin? I apologize for my ignorance on this point. I assumed, I just didn't want to make any
We do.
assumptions.
Yellow Cabin B, baby.
Yellow Cabin B. Let's get a Yellow Cabin B in the chat. Additionally, chat, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. I would love to hear a little bit more about animals wrapped in tinfoil. So if you think you have a really great one, definitely throw that in the chat. And I don't know, I might read it on a break. I'm definitely not going to read it right now. Who knows? But if there's anything else to talk about, I don't know what it is. So I'll give one of these speak now or forever hold your peace, or the last kind of details you want the people watching at home to know. Any kind of character information you would like to share with me. Any burning hot topics on the mind.
Let's go to Dreamland.
Let's get it. All right, so the night concludes and you all make your way to bed. I believe you are all sleeping in Yellow Cabin, is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. So you are going to head to bed in Yellow Cabin. But as you're laying in bed that night, visions start to fill your mind. Your normal peaceful slumber where your brain kind of unpacks all of the, it'd be harsh to label them traumas, but let's just label them events of the previous day. As your brain kind of unpacks the events of the previous day, you find your mind troubled. The normal peaceful dreams that kind of carry you away to a restful slumber aren't there. Instead, you are kind of filled with a sense of dread and foreboding. You can actually feel yourselves kind of leaving your bodies for just a moment and rising up into the sky. As this happens, you can feel the wind rushing all around your bodies. You can kind of feel the trees swaying and creaking and groaning underneath the strain. As your eyes open up and you behold the night sky filled with not stars anymore, but instead small, glowing, blue, beady eyes. They are so many, it's kind of innumerable throughout the sky. You're watching this as it's sort of consuming you. And just once again, this overwhelming sense of dread. As you see one of the eyes in the sky growing just a little bit brighter as it starts to kind of blossom and bloom into what appears to be a ball of fire falling from the sky onto the camp. Happens, you begin to feel the wind starting to pick up and your ears really just kind of being beaten by the air around you. You all of a sudden are sort of filled with this plummeting feeling and you begin to descend very rapidly, your back falling towards the earth. You can't see anything as you begin to careen as the air wishes by your face, the eye in the sky growing with fire and flame as it surrounds your entire peripheral vision and fades into nothing until you awake.
Holy shit.
It is now nice and calm. The wind and the breeze and the trees have kind of settled back to what is, considered normal for, your neck of the woods. But as you kind of drift awake, you begin to notice something is odd. For one, you're not in your cabin anymore. You're actually just asleep on the ground in the woods. The sun has woken you. And as you begin to wake, you notice that everyone around you is waking up at the same time as well.
What time of day would you say it is?
It seems about morning-ish. You probably slept in a little bit later than you would be accustomed to.
All right.
Finally. So tired of that cabin.
Wait.
Man, these beds. I just don't get it.
Wait, but did you see that? Like,
See
like
what?
the blue thing and like the eye and the fire.
Yeah. Did
Are you unfazed by this, buddy? I'm kind of disturbed myself.
Well, we have prophecies about these things.
Like what?
Like,
But what does it mean?
well, that's for us to find out. You're never given answers. God, dog doesn't just give answers.
Have you seen this one before? Like the blue fire and the eye and then the fire and like all of them around.
The last time I saw something like this, I had more control. I was being guided.
Oh.
So, do not fear. We might need help.
Okay. Okay.
I did miss my run for this, so I really hope it's a good omen. I want to pull... Do I have my phone with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to pull it out. I want to, check the weather.
Sure.
Check my notifs.
As you, what kind of phone do you have, by the way? Is it like a flip? Is it like the crystal version of an iPhone?
Oh, yeah, it's like the crystal version of an iPhone.
Blast.
It's sophisticated.
So you pull it out and you open the phone. And how is the reception normally at Taletraeder camp?
I think it's normally pretty good. Never have any issues with it.
Fully dead. No bars. The phone is turning on, but there doesn't seem to be any connection to the outside world.
Woohoo! Check that out, Linden.
Oh my god,
Isn't
buddy!
that great?
No, Azar, I think I'm with you now. That we should be a little more concerned.
I'm meanwhile checking my Motorola Razr with T9 text functionality.
Yeah, very dead.
it.
Even more dead than the iPhone. Like the iPhone had like a little frowny face. Yours is just nothing.
Gosh, this is gonna be fun!
Like, where are we?
Where
Who
should
knows
we
where
go?
we are? Does anybody know where we are?
No, this is not anything I know anything about.
I'm gonna stand up.
Do we think we
put my
could be
finger to
in
the
hell? Like, are we in hell already? Did Fiona take us to
If
hell?
this is hell,
No.
I feel like my things that I'm good at would be a lot different. Given that I'm half hellish.
Wait. Oh yeah, I want to see if I have any superpowers. So I'm gonna try to jump really, really high.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. Like, see how high I get.
How hard are you trying? Like, do you want to roll an acrobatics check right now for
Do a
just
flip.
testing if you have
Do
superheroes?
a
Do
flip.
it. Do
Do
it.
a
Oh
flip.
God. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do a flip.
Do a flip.
Okay, 14. That's something.
14. You don't land on your feet, but you catch yourself, kind of like almost like a bear crawl type deal. So honestly, like 10 out of 10, that was like a great
I
job.
with abandon.
Especially if you don't do flips
I
regularly.
with abandon let out the loudest cheer that could exist.
It seems that things are fairly normal. Linden, go climb a tree. Tell us what you see.
Okay, nothing seems like it's very normal, but I will climb a tree because I might get better service up there. So I'm gonna walk up a tree. I have the spider climbing shoes,
Love
so I
it.
can normally just walk up sides. So do those still work?
Only one way to find out.
All right. I'm gonna pick
Do
like the
a
biggest
flip.
tree I can see.
Do a flip.
Do
I'll flip out of it. I'll flip out of it.
Flip.
Solid. So you start walking up the tree, and as you go, it appears to mostly be forest. The woods don't seem alien to you. They seem kind of like regular, kind of old wood. You've got, some very large trees. The undergrowth is pretty solid. There's a nice layer of green underneath. But as you make your way to the top of the tree, you notice something that catches your eye, and that is the lake. The lake is actually still there, and seems to look the same.
Okay. I'm gonna clock the direction it's in.
Mm-hmm.
How far would I say we are from it? Are we like talking miles or?
No, it's like you're a regular distance from it. Like,
Okay. Okay.
like minutes instead of hours to get there.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to do a flip out of a tree, because I was
That is
requested.
definitely an acrobatics check, but you can switch it to athletics if you're feeling good.
Let's see. I will definitely be switching it to athletics.
Nice.
26.
Oh my God. Congratulations. This is amazing. I'll give you 2 flips. You hop out of this tree, multiple flips through the air, landing very gracefully, almost like superhero pose in like a lunge on the ground. And as you hit it, like the leaves around kind of like lift up in the air and like sway back down. Like that good anime animation.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
For sure.
Right.
Oh,
just
I
getting
definitely turned to Aoife and I'm
hype.
like, look, it's normal.
It's normal. Lakes that way. I think we're in familiar territory.
Lake time.
Were the cabins there?
Cool.
I did not see
Okay.
those. I mostly just
Guess we'll
saw
find out.
trees. I was very high. I don't know
me?
if you noticed, but I did pick the tallest tree to climb. So
To the lake.
All right, so the adventurers kind of suit up with whatever kind of belongings they had on them at the time. I will say that you kind of seem to be equipped for your standard adventuring. You didn't wake up with like a dresser full of clothes and, a wardrobe full of props, but it seems normal. It's suspiciously normal, I would say. And so you begin to head off towards the lake. What's everybody's perceptions at?
Passive?
Yeah, let's go with passive.
13.
13.
17.
12.
13.
13, awesome. So as you're making your way through the woods, Azar, you actually notice it first, is the woods seem familiar, right? So you're going through it and it doesn't, this isn't new territory. The trail that you've kind of found as you're walking through the woods is very reminiscent of the trails you walk through at Taletraeder camp. Normally, it just seems smaller.
As though the forest is thicker than it has been? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool-ish. I'll relay that to everyone. It seems a little overgrown. I don't know if there's anything there. But
I like it.
So as you're kind of making your way through the woods, you can kind of start to smell that fresh water coming from the lake. And you're getting a little bit closer and closer to where you will eventually be hitting the lake. The trails, you're actually starting to see other ones kind of branching off and connecting to yours in that kind of weird serpentine pathway, whatever way that kind of worn paths or game trails through the woods tend to accumulate footsteps. You're noticing that as you get close to the lake, the trail is just a little bit more worn. It seems there's a little bit more kind of branch trails leading off to the side. And as you get closer, you begin to hear a familiar sound coming from just up ahead. And it appears to be an axe chopping wood.
okay. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of invested in finding our cabin if it's here. So if you don't mind taking a detour before the lake just to see what the vibe is.
For some reason, I just had an instinct that the wood that's being cut is our cabin.
Could definitely be. Interesting.
What?
I think we should go there.
I don't know. That just popped into my head.
I vote that we go there.
To the chopping or to your cabin?
So they're in opposite directions.
Well, you would have to
Okay.
roll, essentially, you have to roll to determine where you think your cabin
Okay.
is.
Okay, we'll go toward the chopping then, maybe. Or Oh no.
Oh. Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Just kidding. I hate trees.
Deforestation.
Oh my god.
I want to go see the chopping, personally, because I don't like anyone else using a weapon when I'm unaware.
Okay, let's go.
So as the party keeps kind of moving forwards through the woods, you actually do start to notice a little bit of the deforestation that Buddy of God had just noticed a minute earlier. And as you get to where approximately you feel like you just heard the downed tree fall, you come across what appears to be a dwarf standing shirtless in the clearing, kind of just trimming the extra branches off a downed elm.
Hello?
Hello!
What are you doing?
Getting firewood ready for the opening campfire, of course.
Oh, from a tree that you
And he
just
just kind
cut?
of keeps chopping away.
Yes?
That might not burn that well, but maybe if it was already dead.
Oh, so suddenly you're the
I
expert
have-
on what burns
I
and what
have been
doesn't.
at
But I
Tail
spent
Trader.
half my life in an
I don't
inferno.
know. I have been at. I'm filing that away for later. I have been a camper at Taletraeder Camp for Wayward Adventurers for a few summers now, and we did learn the thing about the firewood. But going back to the Inferno.
So your campers
thing,
here.
Actually, we're counselors in training.
I don't know what that is.
Taking a little back to the Inferno situation that you mentioned. Can you
Yes.
expound on that just a little bit?
Well, you say you've been a camper here before?
Yeah.
Then you must know me. I'm Rurik Stormshield.
Greetings. What
Yes,
camp
hello.
is this?
Taletraeder, Camp for Wayward Adventurers.
Who runs Taletraeder?
Fenala, of course.
God.
Thank
And
you.
your name is Rurik Stormshield?
Yes.
Nice.
When did you start working here?
Well, since the camp was made.
So do you know us?
I can't say I do. You seem
Do you know
green.
my dad kind of owns this land, so do you know him?
I don't know your father.
That's probably for the best. Although that
I
seems
pull out my
strange.
Motorola Razor that is currently
Oh my
dead,
God.
but I want to see the look on his face when I pull it out.
He's a little bit confused. He doesn't know what you're trying to show him.
Okay. Interesting. I'd like to message everyone individually in turn and say, I think we're in the past.
You're trying to message them on a
No,
phone that
with the cantrip message.
with cantrip. Amazing, thank you. I thought you were trying to
dead
message them
phone?
with your
Yeah.
Motorola Razor. Yeah, cool. So you kind of shoot out your things as Rurik in front of you begins to kind of chip away at the wood.
Buddy says aloud, good point, Azar. The key
Fin-
has been found.
Is Fenala here now?
What do you mean?
Is she on the campus? The campus?
Well, yes,
Right
we have
now.
to prepare for the opening campfire.
Rurik opens up a flagon that he has on his side and begins to kind of gulp deeply from it.
Do you need any help?
With
Carrying
what?
this tree that you've cut?
Imbibing your
Oh.
beverage?
With minding my beverage and carrying the tree.
Are you saying the tree is light?
It's a tree.
Rurik picks the tree up, puts it over one shoulder, and looks at you and is like,
How heavy is it supposed to be?
I'm looking at you the same way, Azar. How heavy is it supposed to be?
Interesting. Cool.
I want to pick up some branches too. I want to copy that pose.
Yeah, is there anything left for us to carry on the ground?
I'm not
really.
carrying anything, even if there was, out of spite.
Just you're not. Azar is not getting along with Rurik right off the bat.
You
it
know,
seems.
I understand I'm kind of a polarizing person. You know, you either love me or you hate me. That's
With that, Rura kind of turns, and the tree actually spins around quite quickly, almost kind of hitting all of you in the heads. I'm assuming you kind of duck and keep your wits about you, unless full, honesty, or unless you think your character would not have dodged it.
No, I'd probably dodge it. I was watching him carry the tree, so I would notice if it spun around.
I'm pretty bad on dex, I feel like. So I feel like I probably need to do a check for that.
Roll that dex check.
All right.
It's short.
It just goes straight over. Wait, but this guy's a dwarf too,
Guys,
right?
you don't even flinch.
I
like,
know.
No.
I still think like
He is a dwarf.
That's a 15.
15. Yeah, you dodge it. You're killing it. And Rurik turns around and is like, well, see you at the opening campfire. And starts walking away from you in what appears to be the direction of
This
the
guy's
lake.
really into the opening campfire.
This campfire holds a clue. We must follow this man.
Definitely follow.
Okay.
Definitely.
Finale will be there.
Are you like trying to be creepy about it? Are you like keeping your distance?
Trying to be
Is it
creepy
like
for
you're
sure.
trying
Oh,
to be
I was
for
definitely
sure?
going team obvious.
Got
Oh
it.
yeah. Okay. I can be swayed either way. I feel like obvious is the
Here's
easiest,
the thing,
but
is that from my understanding, we have 2 people in plate mail or chain mail right now.
yes.
So even if we are trying to be stealthy, I think it's obvious.
It's probably pretty obvious.
Truth.
But
I still would like to put up my hood and my sunglasses anyway. I'm incognito.
looking
Nice.
like Damien from Mean Girls.
All right. So, as a team, you begin to start walking in the direction that Rurik was carrying the fallen tree. As you get closer and closer to the lake, you begin to kind of hear more lake-type sounds. Maybe it's that nice breeze wafting through the trees. Maybe it's, the soft, call of ducks. I don't know. But you're getting closer to the lake, and you're actually starting to kind of recognize things just a little bit more as you get closer.
Okay.
Okay.
It is at this point, as you are kind of traveling through the woods, that you see the mess hall out of, out kind of a little bit in the distance, but still standing there, and it appears to be the same mess.
Oh, Halil, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait. We should see if Halil's there. That'll be a good estimate of like. We need to pick somebody who we've seen before, and then like look at their age on their face.
That is true. Yes.
But we could keep following this guy and do that later.
Well, if we know if we know he's going to the opening campfire, he's probably going to the opening campfire pit, right? So
True.
my thing is maybe we should go look at Yellow Cabin B and see what the situation
Love it.
is. Now that we've broken the tree line.
Perfect.
Okay. And always remember there are terrible things in the lake. Just in case. To the cabin.
Buddy, I know you're I have a lot of rough memories associated with there being things in the lake. So you don't always have to bring it up, buddy. It's kind of a sore subject.
But there are things in the lake. We might need them.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Wow, Azar has been burned before by this body of
Just context
water.
for the people in the chat and watching. Azar, so what happens if you go swimming in the water is you roll a d20 luck check. Azar has rolled nat ones multiple times on that specific luck check.
That is very
And has
sad.
been attacked several times. Whatever. Anyway.
I'm gonna buy you a pair of like flippers next time we go into town and see if that helps.
I think it would, honestly.
All right, so you kind of have the location of the mess hall, down. You've broken the tree line. Does anyone in the group kind of feel confident in their ability to locate Yellow Cabin B?
Oh, definitely. If I know where the mess hall
Yeah,
is, definitely.
yeah.
Oh, that's a negative.
That's a negative.
Wow, all right.
Oh God.
I'm
it-
following along.
Is it, buddy? Is it just like why don't you know where you live?
I feel like Buddy's done a lot of just following and tagging along, traversing, if you will. And I think that the crew would definitely attest to this. It's not that Buddy's like not completely unaware, but it's mostly that Buddy's thoughts are occupied by many other things, many other times. And like
Just living in the moment.
they all have wisdom, so follow their lead, you know?
That makes sense. That's good to know. That's good to know. So who wants to kind of take point on guiding us back to Yellow Cabin B?
Probably I would if nobody else is pushing ahead of me.
Yeah, I nominate you.
Cool. Azar, talk us through your path back to Yellow Cabin
So
B.
I think we have the mess hall and the auditorium, which is kind of right next to it. So I'm gonna head in the opposite direction of those. So those are like in the center of camp, like between like if I'm coming out of the tree line, those are to my left. So I'm gonna take a right and kind of keep it close to the tree line. Hoping that the tree line is similar to what it usually is, because yellow cabinets are all kind of like nestled in this little alcove to the right, from my estimation.
Well, as you start to kind of follow the woods around to that alcove on the right, you notice there just doesn't seem to be an alcove. There just seems to be more trees.
Are the like so also along that alcove, but on the other side, like so it goes like this and then comes back out, and like here there are like the worship center and the tech lab and the arts and crafts tent. Like, are any of those there?
Just trees.
Interesting. I'm getting pressed again.
How big are these trees? Like, can I do a nature check to try to figure out how old they are?
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Congratulations. The trees, I'm trying to think of a way to say this that abides by the rules of how this should be framed. This is actually, I'm just going to say this because this is just a DM style thing. I personally, in kind of my vendetta against rules, I hate rules. And part of that is hating numbers. So I usually try not to give numbers. And usually with players, I try to, like if you're ever trying to communicate like, oh, I'm hurt, like don't be like, oh, I'm like 26 out of HP. Be like, I am, I don't know, like bloodied. Or so I try to stick away from that. But the trees you notice, so if we're looking at kind of like the age of a forest, it's not as old growth as where you woke up. The trees are kind of in that middling phase where they're large, but they're not necessarily large enough that the kind of canopy overhead blocks out the sun from lower foliage. They're kind of large, but in that sense, it's also a little bit dense. There seem to be, some bushes, some kind of, thorny areas.
Okay. So we're either like well into the future or we're in the past.
Here's my well, I guess it could go either way now that I think on it. But when I pulled out my phone, Rurik seemed confused. So my takeaway from that personally is that he's never seen a phone before. But it could be also that his phone is much cooler than mine. So, Linden, if his phone is cooler than mine, steal it. But your phone is also cooler than mine.
Will do. Frickin' will do. I'll pick his pocket. Alternatively, we could be so far into the future that, like, the cell towers failed, which is like my worst nightmare. Have you ever seen the film 2012?
Why did I think you were gonna say The Matrix?
I thought you were gonna say 10 Cloverfield Lane. So.
Have you ever read Scott Westerfeld's book Uglies?
Yeah.
Oh, ow. A throwback.
They have phones in the Matrix.
Oh, I've never seen it.
That's how they
Wow.
get back to the real world. Is
The Matrix is my favorite
Oh my God.
movie.
Lyndon's
I saw it when I
second
was like
favorite.
8. I saw it way too young. You shouldn't see The Matrix at 8. If you're 8 years old in the chat, you should go to bed. It's too late.
I was
Go to
hearing
bed.
stories about the body horror in the Matrix, and so I don't know that I'll ever be able to watch it. But
It's a lot. It's a lot. But you know, it's
yeah,
what have you. Anyway, you keep kind of walking around. There still is that sort of like stage, that central theater. There's still the mess hall off to your left, but there doesn't seem to be any other kind of like signifiers in the kind of I don't know if the cardinal directions work exactly like this, but the kind of the south end of that clearing.
okay. So like the only buildings that we see are the mess hall and the auditorium, or not even the auditorium.
Yeah. I mean, what does the auditorium normally
It's
look
like just a wood amphitheater kind of with like log benches, I think.
Yeah, there's log benches. There's like a little bit of kind of like a raised stage.
So, I think Buddy would definitely ask the group, are there any cabins here?
I don't really see anybody. Anybody.
We're
Buddy
just
doesn't
having
get
to
it.
sleep.
Maybe no.
I wonder if they all just sleep on the ground like we just were.
Well, that's
As
actually
it
kind
should
of sick.
be.
Maybe they're earthing. They're all night earthing.
Earthing.
It's like when you don't wear shoes outside and it like sends all the good earth energy up into your body.
Oh.
That sounds awesome.
I get a lot of that.
I want to try that.
Let's all go earthing later.
I'm gonna take
once
off my
we figure out
shoes.
where we
I
are.
don't want to try that, but I'll support you.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm also gonna take off my shoes.
Any special powers?
I think let's go to the mess hall.
All right.
Love it.
Alright.
No one's.
If Halil's there, she'll definitely.
I
Give
get
us
the
the tea,
feeling
'cause we're
that
besties.
for our cabins to have been built and then decayed to the status that they are in the real world right now, Halil may not be alive yet, or may have.
Yeah.
Halil's like the tooth fairy. She's like immortal.
How old is Halil?
That's what Linden thinks. Linden doesn't know the facts.
It's like when you're a kid and you think like, okay, this is like a fun tangent. When I worked at a summer camp, when I was literally 16, I had multiple children come up to me and ask me how old my kids were. That was like a very regular occurrence. Like little kids at summer camp have no idea how old people are.
Oh yeah.
They just,
When I worked at
There's
a
no frame
theater
of
camp,
reference.
everybody thought I was over 40, so that was fun.
Oh my
Right?
god.
and like it feels kind of good because like everywhere else in my life, I had this like cherubic little baby face, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like you know, like a sophomore in college, like visiting my parents, and a woman like came up to my dad at like Walgreens and was like, let me guess, they're 15, and I was like, I'm an adult.
Also, that's
Oh,
such a
exactly.
weird thing to do. It's be like, I'm at a Walgreens.
Very strange.
Yeah, it was because I was getting Old Spice deodorant, and she decided that you have to be 15 to get it. But anyway,
Be
so
old.
the
It's called
adventurers,
Old Spice. It's not young
the adventurers
spice.
start heading off towards the mess hall. It looks just about the same, maybe like I don't know, a little bit more worn, if that makes any sense. Do you guys want to go in?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Cool. As you kind of enter into the mess hall, it looks a little bit familiar to you, but kind of the tables and chairs seem to have changed since the last time you've been in. You can kind of hear some pots and pans banging around in the kitchen area, and just, you know, some mild, flavorful curses just coming from through the wall.
Oh, I go over there for sure. I'll actually just try and saunter right behind the counter.
Blast. So Azar just walks right behind that counter, and as you cross the barrier, you are greeted by none other than a satyr wearing a cooking
Hi.
apron. He kind of looks at you, looks back at the pile of pots and pans that are on the ground, looks back at you, looks at the pots and pans on the ground. He's like, for Christ's sake, what are you doing in here?
Can I help you?
No,
Why?
it's the pots and pans.
Can I help? But can I help you pick them up or like wash them or anything?
Who are
I'm
you?
Azar Aldark. I'm a CIT.
What?
Counselor in training.
A CIT?
C, counselor IN training. T training.
We don't have any counselors in training.
Well, you do now.
Like you do. There's 4 of us.
The satyr kind of like cocks his head to the side, sees you all standing there.
Oh, and this is Aoife, Linden, and Buddy.
Hello,
Uh,
Peter.
do you know Halil?
Come again?
Do you know Halil?
I can't say I do.
What year is it?
What year?
Yeah.
Finally, someone
I know.
asked.
That's a great question that I knew would get asked eventually, but I need to ask a frame of reference question first. What year is it regularly?
2020.
Is it actually 2020? Oh, bless. Cool. It's 1930.
Oh, no.
I faint.
That out loud.
Right.
I fall to the ground.
Correct.
Oh, my God.
Peter sees y'all kind of freaking out a little bit on the ground and is just like, what's wrong with you? That's
I
the
also
year.
would like to point out that we look like idiots too. We're like dressed in fool's clothing for the 1930s.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm like definitely wearing like jean cargo shorts.
Peter.
Peter.
Peter. Peter.
What happens in 1930?
Is this one all right? What happens in
Am I all
1930?
right?
Yes.
I'm all right. Are you all right?
How do you know? I'm not a sage. I can't tell you what's going to happen in 1930.
I think Buddy would definitely lean over to Linden and ask, "What's a satyr?
What's a sage?
Did
Sage? What's a sage?"
the stock market crash last year?
What's the stock market?
That's a really wonderful question. Like, did World War II occur?
I don't
Like,
know.
or did World War I just end in order for them to be ramping up for World War II in this chronology? I don't want to
Sorry.
posture check. I don't know.
We
That's a
don't have
really
to get
great
into that.
question.
We don't have to get into
No,
that.
no, these are the questions that I love. Did the stock market crash, and does Peter know what a stock market crash is ideologically? Because I don't want to, make any judgments about Peter, or the life decisions he's made.
Buddy definitely doesn't know.
But he is living in the woods running a mess hall for a children's camp.
What better excuse for a wealthy druid to invest her energy in a summer camp than the stock market crash?
It's a good point. You've got like a minor baby boom of people coming back from World War One. So there's some babies
It's
there.
time.
People hate babies, so they're constantly trying to get rid of them. So they probably made a summer camp. It makes sense. Let's you know what? Like, I don't know why I'm even doing this. Chat. Let's see it in the chat. Chat. I want you
Should
to
I
make a
make a
decision
poll?
right now whether
I'll
or
make a
not there was
poll.
a stock market crash in canon in
I'm making
universe.
a poll. Was there
yes.
Was there
Please be our
a
guide.
stock
Be our guide.
market crash in
Claire's gonna come back and be like, "What did you do with my lore?"
Yes. No.
By the way, Buddy, I don't know what a sage is. And I would look it up.
I think
But I
it's
can't.
it's a kind of plant.
Buddy feels a profound sadness as listening to Linden mention not being able to look something up. Buddy gives Linden a hug.
It's so cute.
So sad.
And also, Buddy would like to... Oh, I guess this is kind of a test. No, because Azar already cast a cantrip. Buddy would cast guidance on Linden.
Oh my god. Thank you, Buddy.
So bad.
by the way, here's what the stock market is. And I talk for a few minutes.
To Pater or to Buddy or Pater?
To both.
Explain it.
Absolutely to both,
Like
because I'm
what?
also listening.
Yes.
Pater is honestly like I'm gonna say that he's interested.
I will say, as a character, I have a -1 intelligence. So my understanding of the stock market is basically you put your money there, money gives you more money, you profit, you invest in things, and then you can trade them with your friends and try to make more money than all
I
your
definitely
friends.
regurgitate the wisdom that my parents have imparted on me, which is that the stock market is the tool that keeps the rich rich getting richer.
I would just for the people in the chat, like to add one additional bit to that synopsis of the stock market, which is diamond hands. Diamond hands, everybody. Diamond hands. GME stock to the moon. Anyway, to the moon. Daddy Musk's going to take us all the way to Mars.
Oh no.
Come back.
So sad.
Come back. Daddy Musk, I gotta go. Papa Musk.
Should we this actually might be a great kind of stopping point to kind of go take a bathroom break, because we've been going for just about an hour and I believe someone's internet just dropped out. So it might be kind of the perfect spot. It's a little bit of an abrupt shift.
Everybody can ponder the stock market.
Honestly, diamond hands.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back in just a little bit. Diamond hands.
Welcome back, Chad. It's good to see you as always. And we are hanging out in the mess hall talking to Pater, just weekend vibes. So, adventurers, any pressing questions? I think we did decide that there was a stock market crash, which is very deeply disturbing for the people of the world. There are many people homeless at the time of this adventure.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I just want you to know that in the back of your head.
Catch
just
that
for character.
context.
But anyway, so we're chatting with Pater, who has just now learned about stocks and is very excited to do some investing when the summer's over.
Money on money. That's how you get it.
Rich people.
Rich people. Well, you see, it's a tool used to oppress the working class, because who really has a discretionary income?
Not me, I'll tell you that. Most of my income spent on the bottle, if you know what I'm saying. And he
I know what you're saying.
gives an elbow to Buddy, just to be like, hey, rah,
Buddy.
Buddy.
Just nod. Just look cool.
So good.
I have to say I'm a little bit confused. Why didn't you all come in with the rest of the campers?
Well, we're actually counselors in training.
So you've been here setting up?
We're here to help set up. Do you
Helping
need help with
Rurik.
the dishes?
No,
Okay.
we haven't. I mean, so far I'm just de-winterizing everything. So we're just getting ready for the summer.
Did you work here last summer too?
Yes.
Okay. How many summers have you been here?
Oh, just about 3.
Nice. And did you start at the time the camp was started? Like, were you here were you one of the inaugural?
Oh, that was my brother.
Oh, awesome. Oh my God.
Yes, us brown hooves. Well, we're resilient cooks and chefs, but unfortunately, he was eaten.
Eaten?
Oh, yes.
By what?
Well, we're not sure yet, but
Oh, I'm so
the
sorry.
gravestone just says he died how he lived.
That's a bad
Being
omen.
eaten. Okay.
Well, he just loved food.
Yeah. Did that happen here?
No, I think it was at the end of the summer. So I think usually it's customary for us satyrs to go on a little bit of a walkabout of sorts after the end of each summer, kind of become one with nature.
I definitely feel that. I definitely spent one time sitting by a tree waiting for the birds to wake up so that I could copy them.
Why?
I'm learning how to whistle.
Oh, Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It's kind of a thing. Well, I knew how to whistle, but I didn't know how to whistle like bird noises, so I kind of picked that up as a little hobby.
The only bird call I know is a wood thrush. Goes like psh, 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 psh.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I know.
Thank you.
Oh my
kinda
god,
nice,
that's
right?
so good.
It's kind of nice, right? That was the
Hey,
only one I heard in the morning.
A bird kind of flies in and hits the window in the back of the mess hall. And
Oh God, I run out and go pick it up. I'm
Is it
Aoife
okay?
now. I'm Aoife now.
I was just thinking that. Oh no, wait. Oh, sorry, my name reverted
I'm
back.
gonna have you
Let's-
roll a d20
Okay.
to see if the bird is still alive.
Oh, do I add anything to it?
I don't think so. I think this is pure luck.
That's a 5.
That bird is dead.
I carry it back in my hand inside the mess hall. I bring this dead bird.
Can I
Maybe
cast Spare the
diseased.
Dying on a bird?
You can definitely cast Spare the Dying on
I'm
this
casting this wonderful cantrip I have on this bird.
I'm dead.
Thank God, because I was just gonna try to druid craft it back
bird. The
to
bird,
life.
I don't think birds can cough, but it's like, and it just kind of, like a feather comes out of its mouth as it like kind of perks up and is alive.
I make a commitment to myself to never bird call inside a building ever again.
Wow.
Lesson
A
learned.
solemn vow. Peter's kind of just been soaking this all, and it's actually very impressive to him that someone can A, whistle, and B, cast Spare the Dying.
Honestly,
I'm debating speaking with it.
speak with it, buddy. Speak with it, please.
I'm still pondering.
So, like, you don't need any help, but do you know who might need help today? Like, we're just really on deck, you know, to help out.
Yeah, well, I know that Rurik is getting ready for the opening campfire. We've got, sort of a fun night ahead of us planned. I know that, over at the kind of marksmanship course, we got what's the name of that young lad? I'm pulling it up. Oh, yes, we've got Gams Magical, the marksman. He'll be setting up down at the archery range.
Cool. Is he gonna, like, put a person on a wheel and then spin the wheel and then shoot so that he doesn't shoot the person?
No, we take things a little bit simpler around here. We just, for what? Have you ever played Danger Arrow?
No, can you please explain to me what Danger Arrow
Oh, no, it's a great game. So, you stand in the middle of the archery field, right? And Magical, he takes the bow and he'll fire an arrow straight up in the air. And the last person to move wins.
Oh, spicy. Do we get to play?
You get to learn a little bit about gravity, but yes, you could play.
Let's play that.
I
play.
absolutely want to play that.
Why?
They're fun.
Is it fun?
It's like, have you ever
Let's
played
call it
Daredevil,
a
buddy?
Danger Arrow. No, what's Daredevil?
It's where you, like, challenge each other to do things that are very dangerous, and then whoever does it wins bragging rights.
That's why I brag so much. I've won a lot of rounds of Daredevil.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate.
Do you guys think, like, we should, like, try and get someone to, like, give us a tour?
Who do you think is going to give us a tour? We could go find, maybe Campbell's here. That's
We should
honestly
find
a
some
dunk
campers.
on Campbell. That she's ancient.
Boom!
just for context of that comment.
Loved it.
Yeah, let's see if someone gives us a tour. You want to just like walk around aimlessly and see if somebody stops us?
Peter,
Yes?
do you have any time to take a break from de-winterizing and give us a
Oh.
tour?
Well, I appreciate, the kind of adventurer spirit you got there, wanting to get a tour of this here old camp. Peter's got to squash a few more rats before dinner, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like, I actually don't.
Would
But
you
that's
like
okay.
me to just see if they'll leave?
How would you see if the rats would leave? Rats are cunning creatures, boy.
buddy, I think maybe that would be a great use of our time.
Buddy can talk to animals.
Well,
I am an animal. Ish.
well, buddy, as you so call it. The rats here are a little bit more demon than animal, if you know what I'm saying there. I wouldn't say possessed because I have some very good friends who are possessed good people, but I will say the rats here, they think they own the place.
Do they actually own the place?
I don't believe so, young lad.
Does Finala own the place? Who owns the place?
Oh yes, Finola. Yep.
Okay.
Decided to open up this right after the stock market crashed.
Honestly, a really wise
She does.
investment.
Very,
She
very
does
wise.
strike me
Yeah.
as a
Putting
financially
money into the
prudent
arts is
person.
never an incorrect move, you know.
Yeah. Plus,
she, like,
people
twangs.
hate their children. I don't know if you've known this, but satyrs, we hate our children. So we're really just looking for any kind of excuse to get rid of them for a few weeks at a time. One time I
hear
told
you
my
there.
kids I was sending them to camp, I just put them in a hole in the ground. Put a box.
One time I went to a forensic
Over the
science camp at Georgetown University, and it kind of felt like all the parents had just put their kids in a hole.
So you just said a lot of words that I don't know any of them.
I don't, you know,
Maybe my parents are part satyr.
Maybe.
Sometimes they want to put me in a hole. If you know what I mean.
I do. Speaking of which, I've kind of got a few rats to squash. If you wouldn't mind finding a hole to jump in.
Are you sure they're demon rats?
No, it's just a figure of speech. They're demons because I'm going to kill them.
Oh.
interesting. Okay, well, I messaged Buddy. Buddy, it seems he doesn't want your help. I think we should just go.
Buddy just puts on Buddy's saddest face and follows the group out.
I'll
We can
save
go
the
talk
body
to
for you
rats
if you'd like.
outside.
I'm keeping
Peter picks up a pot, whips it across the room, seemingly.
This seems unbelievably inefficient.
Just
I
where
have
rats might
one
be able
hand.
to just throw in the pot.
on my weapons just as a subtle cue, like I got a belt of weapons here
Solid.
if you need help. But I don't really say that. I just kind of strike a power pose
Gotcha.
with my flail.
So good.
As soon as I get outside, I'm gonna take this bird and try and do the thing that people do where they like kind of throw it up and see if it'll fly.
Oh,
Does
I'll
it have
cast
one
gust
health
under
point?
it at the same time.
I
No,
help
this
it.
is bad. That's gonna make it
I
die.
want to see this happen. I would like.
Okay,
Gust
do it.
doesn't
do
do
it.
damage, it just pushes.
But if it pushes it in the air and then it falls and takes falling damage, let's do
It can only push it 5 feet.
Okay.
So normally I feel like you would have to roll like your spellcasting modifier for this.
Yeah.
Linden, what is yours?
That's a good question.
Or is it a saving throw on behalf of the bird?
It's a saving throw for Gust. It's a strength.
Should I roll for the bird?
Yeah, you're
no.
definitely rolling for the bird.
Okay.
strength.
Strength? Oh, do I have to use my strength? Oh,
I
bummer.
think not.
Well, that's a 7.
So it gets
7.
pushed.
So it gets
By the
it
air.
gets gusted into the air.
Yeah.
What? I'll allow it. Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, the thing is,
I
if
just want to give it a boost of confidence. You know, sometimes if you start off doing really well, you believe that you're going to do really well, and then you just continue doing so. Mind over matter.
Sure. No, I like this.
The inverse of that explains a lot.
Desires over gravity and death.
That's what.
Y'all-
That's how bees can fly.
That's what B movie taught me, so I think it's true.
That's what Buzzy the Bumblebee taught me in my favorite children's book.
So a quick question though is, do you think the bird is aware that magic is being used? Additionally, do you think the bird knew that it was going to die when you revived it?
When we revived it, did we think it knew it was going to die before that?
Yeah, like did the bird see like some sort of bird tunnel of light, like leave its body and then like get yanked back?
Oh.
Yes.
Or was it like
Yes.
unconscious?
That.
Wait, okay, so the bird is very aware that
Season
its
5
life has
Buffy,
been
the
saved.
bird.
And then as you cast Gust, I think if the bird had a near-death experience where they could see a ton of light, was revived, the bird is also probably very aware that magic is being used to kind of boost its wings, and so it probably gives you like a very, happy, thankful chirp before flying off, hopefully to find its family.
Oh my god. Bird,
I feel
please.
absolutely warmed to the core.
You know what? Pack it up. That was the whole adventure.
And
We
we
did it.
saved the bird.
That's it.
So what do we do now?
So we're gonna go walk aimlessly around the camp until we find someone to give us a tour.
Should we try to find Finala?
Let's find campers.
Wait, buddy.
Or yeah, when did the campers get here?
Based off context clues with the conversation with Pater, it's safe to assume the campers are not here, but they are coming for the opening campfire seemingly later tonight.
Yeah, always missing those context clues. Let's go find campers.
Wait. Campers aren't here yet, buddy. Let's go find a random stranger.
Or we could just like...
Or, what about this? What
Wait.
about this? Buddy, one time you went to Finala's cabin, right? Do you think you could get us back there?
Oh yeah.
Probably not.
Buddy nor Allie could take you back to Vanessa's cabin.
Interesting.
Wait, guys, we have to keep in mind the butterfly effect.
Huh?
So if this is the past, we need to not, like, change anything because then we might not be born.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
Oh, was that the Ashton Kutcher movie?
Yes.
I fell asleep
Like a
during that
butterfly's
one. It's
wings
no
could cause like a
Matrix.
tsunami somewhere, right? Is that the premise
Yes.
of the movie?
Yeah.
I can't.
I rated it a 1/2 star.
I don't find Ashton Kutcher attractive at all.
I'm going to start trying to, like, tread as lightly as possible, so I'm just going to, like, start tiptoeing and try not to touch anything.
Oh my
Because
God,
I just
you guys.
remembered the butterfly effect.
Sure.
What if the bird is the butterfly effect? What if it's the bird effect?
Oh, God. Wait, but the bird would not have flown into the window if you had not whistled.
So we just undid it. Okay.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
all good.
God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
I spilled all my dice. That's what that was. That's what Linden's brain sounds like right now because she's just starting to grasp the reality of the situation even more. And when Aoife vocalized that.
Upriver in a time kayak without a paddle.
I think Buddy would just start screaming, hello?
Yeah, I'm kind of panicking now.
Just-
I'm screaming with Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I was cool, but now I'm not.
No. We're losing
I'm
it.
assuming you're right outside the mess hall as Buddy begins to just scream and people kind of start vibrating at different frequencies.
Yes.
Well, the good news is your screams are heard, Buddy, as you just kind of yell into the void. And a very kind of stout woman comes charging up towards you. She's kind of like a little Spitfire, nice kind of brown hair, with kind of like an all green sort of jumpsuit, bow across her back, kind of marching up towards you, and it's like, you said you need help. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Pater's voice. She's like, hi, yes, you need help?
Hello.
Yes. We're looking for a tour.
Oh, a tour of... Amazing. Hello, my name is Mila Teelith. I am the Assistant Program Director of Taletraeder Camp for Wayward Adventurers.
Oh my God.
And it is so nice to meet you. Are y'all... I have to be honest, you seem like you're a little bit early. Are you...
Well, so
are you campers? Are you...
we're counselors in training.
Oh, that's odd. Finala didn't tell me anything about counselors in
It's a
in
pilot
training.
program this year.
Pilot. Okay. That's fine. I guess I'll talk to Finala about it later. You're here for a tour? You came early?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
So we're
Yes,
just
hello,
here for
we're
our
here early.
CIT orientation.
Yes.
Got it. Well, I can show you around if that's helpful.
Yes, we would
Yes.
That would
love
be
that.
so
Thank you so
helpful.
much.
Amazing. Cool. All right. Well, I assume you've kind of seen the mess hall. Did you meet Pater?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Pater is our resident satyr and chef.
Pater the
much,
satyr.
much, much better than our last cook, who was very sadly eaten by one of his creations at the end of the summer.
Oh.
By
try
one
not
of
to
his
talk about it.
creations.
Oh, that kind of has Victor Frankenstein in it.
Yeah,
Yes.
he loved to cook in more ways than one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, meth.
You get it. You get it. He made things.
Yeah.
Different potions, different kind of amalgamations of
We
organic
consider
parts.
We would
ourselves
never
junior
do that.
alchemists as well.
Oh,
It's the opposite of what I said.
seems like y'all need to get your story straight before you pull some pranks on old Mila Tea.
We're not. Oh, we've outgrown pranks.
I see.
Serious.
You're here to train, grow as adventurers.
Yes, and
Wow.
inspire the younger class.
That's good. We need a little bit more inspiration around here. As you probably are well aware, seeming as how you're the pilot program of the CITs, I think you said.
C counselors INT training.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we're kind of a young and scrappy operation at the moment. We don't have too many people on staff, and I would describe our camping experience as rustic.
That sounds like in real life.
You get me. So the idea of this camp is to kind of gradually expose children to danger in a way that hopefully won't get them killed, get them out of their parents' hair for a little bit, and kind of teach them a few things about life. So we have the mess hall. We serve 3 square meals a day there. You may have noticed we don't necessarily have campsites quite yet. As we said, it's rustic, so a lot of our campers will bring in their own tents and sleeping bags, those things of those nature. If you actually kind of want to follow me, and Mila begins to kind of guide you around the camp. She begins first to take you to the kind of archery zone where I gave this person this name, Gams Magical. I love the name, but I can never remember it. Where Gams Magical works. So Gams Magical, as you all may or may not be aware, is a World War I veteran.
Wow, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
we don't, we try not to hype it up too much because then people start asking Gams about war stories. Gams has to relive the terrible, terrible trauma. And so we kind of keep it on the hush-hush, but it's definitely a bullet point that we like to share with people that Gams is really quite the kind of, marksman, for lack of a better word. And you kind of, you notice that you're actually heading off to where normally, traditionally, the kind of training area would be. So it's kind of familiar. It's not too off the beaten path. You see Gams there. Gams appears to be a druid, wearing kind of nice tanned leather boots and then a sort of shawl made of leaves of various colors that seem to be preserved in some way. So Gams is wearing this and just sinking bullseye after bullseye down the archery course, trying to just kind of warm up for the day.
Damn. I say hello in Druidic.
Gams immediately recognizes the Druidic language and turns around kind of in an upright mood, in a bright mood. It's not often that Gams gets to communicate with people in his mother tongue. And back to you, and Druid is like, hello there, young adventurer.
How is it going today, mister? I would like to say that, as a note, my Druidic is, elementary at the moment.
I'm having a great day, and don't worry about it. I didn't notice it at all. You're trying, and that is all that matters.
Yeah, so when I talk, it sounds kind of like, the conversations they have in, like high
in
school
your
language
introductory
textbooks,
books.
where
Yeah,
it's, like,
yeah.
a little too formal, and, like...
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. There's, like, every person is wearing a polo regardless of age or gender, like
Yeah.
standard language textbook things.
Sprinkling of formalities.
Yeah. Only solid colors, like no patterns to be seen.
Yeah. Love it.
So that's the energy I give when I speak Druidic.
Nice. Mila does not know Druidic, so it's like, Gams, it's good to see you today. How are you doing? Gams is like, well, just warming up on the course, trying to get ready for the new class of adventurers we'll be seeing this summer.
I heard that you do sort of a game. Like a
Death arrow? No, that's way too dark. It's not
No,
called that.
you're referring to
Danger
Arrow.
I was like, death arrow.
Yes, we have many danger games here at Camp Taletraeder.
Do you have any non-competitive danger games?
Well, every game is a competition to see whether or not you survive.
Right, but like, do you have any danger games where people don't compete against other people? They just compete against themselves and their own like stamina and internal strength.
That's a good question. Normally, a lot of the games revolve around danger. You may have noticed in the mess hall we have some large metal fans in the air, usually used to kind of cool things down. One of the more popular games we play there is called Danger Tray, and when the fans are spinning, you'll throw a tray into the fans. That can be played single player, multiplayer.
So what's the goal?
See who gets
Survive.
hit.
That's the goal of every game. That's
Aim
I
life.
think
your
that
enemies.
counts as non-competitive sports. I think I'm into it.
Wow, they've really watered down Taletraeder. I messaged to Aoife.
Like over time, it really has just gotten like more corporate and less about like, giving these people what they want.
I specifically don't message it to Linden because I think that Linden would maybe be a little offended if her father's influence had watered down the camp's electric.
Have any campers
danger
ever
sense.
died?
I mean, not yet.
How many years has the camp been operating, Gams?
5, 6. I've only been on for the last couple.
Okay.
And nobody has died?
Not that I'm aware of.
Buddy, that's a good thing, I think.
Buddy takes a mental note. This camp is starting to look weird.
Oh my god.
This is like the first time that Buddy has noticed that something might be
Yeah, it's like,
different.
Wait.
Wait a second.
What's this?
So
Clocked it.
So is like the Finala Falamel like on site today?
Oh yes, no, Finala. I actually just saw Finala over at the Nature
Nature Preserve?
Lodge.
Nature Lodge. Awesome. Is that the next stop on the tour?
Yes,
Mila?
let's go to
I
this
like him. He's like,
lodge.
I'm glad you asked.
Segue.
And
wait, they
it's
don't
like,
have this
thanks,
yet.
Matt. Thanks, Madrigal. And begins walking and guiding you to the next stop. Now, the next stop is actually where it starts to get a little bit different from kind of how you've seen things before. You're headed over to where normally the blue cabins would be. And what appears to be instead is kind of a structure that has been lashed together from, essentially down trees. They don't appear to be the kind of trees that someone chopped down like Rurik was doing earlier, but they appear just to be, naturally have fallen and kind of assembled into a structure. As you're approaching, you do see someone you recognize, and it is Finala, standing underneath the shelter, standing with a human as well, who is kind of there, seemingly very similar to how, Gams Madrigal and Pater Brownhoof were getting ready for the day. It does seem like they're kind of, fixing up the nature area.
Great.
I think I can't message, so I'm just gonna very quietly as I can, ask the group if we think we should make ourselves seen to Finala or not. If we should avoid that.
If I hear Linden trying to talk, I'll message you so that you can message me back. But I'll just say like, Honestly, I was planning to tell Finala everything because it seems like maybe this isn't her first foray into time magic.
Okay.
Okay, I can get behind that. Let's just make sure not to, like, get on her bad side, because then if she sees us again 80 years later and remembers us, like...
Yes, and also Finala, I feel like in one hit could reduce me to dust. So
I mean, she loves my mom. They're friends, probably, so...
Is your mom alive yet?
Yeah.
ooh,
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay.
My
Cool.
papa is not. But my mother is an elf, so she has...
Oh, legit. Okay.
She has been around for more than 90 years. Yeah. She's in her, like, 300s, probably. And my dad's only, like, 60-something.
Spring chicken.
just a spring chicken. But in his lifespan, he's a lot further along in it than she is in hers.
He's definitely gonna beat her to the grave.
Yeah, I'd like to saunter up to Finala.
You saunter. And I'm going to do what I think Finala sounds like. This is probably a terrible bastardization of the character that Claire has painstakingly built.
I actually genuinely
we
don't
haven't
remember if we've
I don't
ever
think she
talked
has.
to her.
Oh,
We haven't, like, conversed with her extensively.
I wouldn't say the voice is anything that you might miss or
Amazing.
misrepresent.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're
just going to
okay.
sound like this.
Great.
Great.
Hi.
Hello?
So we're your new pilot program counselors in training. And I was just wondering if we could maybe sidebar for a second.
Are you... This is a real question. So, Finala owns the camp. Finala
I know.
does not have a pilot program to train counselors in training.
Yep.
That doesn't exist. Are you saying this very quickly to try to kind of like persuade Finala to allow you to just keep talking? What's your goal here? I keep hitting this mic. I'm sorry, chat.
My goal is for example, if she were to roll an insight check on me, that she would realize that something is awry. Mm-hmm. So,
So you're very aware that she's gonna, I don't even
know
think
that
she
she's
needs an
gonna
insight
see-
check. She did not hire you. Like,
Yeah, but what I'm hoping is that she would see that, like, I know who she is and would grant us a sidebar conversation.
I'll go on that journey with you. I think that's actually, at least she's curious, right? Because y'all are, as previously mentioned, dressed outlandishly for the time period.
Yes.
So she is intrigued, and so she'll kind of hop off to the side and do a sidebar with y'all.
Okay. So, like, I don't want to, like, assume that you're maybe perhaps familiar with time magic, but I feel like you might be.
Time magic.
Time magic, yeah, like, for example, traveling through different times, or maybe waking up from a dream and then you're, like, in the past.
I cannot say that's ever happened to me. No.
Well, that has happened to us, and we are from Taletraeder 2020, and now we are here in 1930, and that's feeling a little bit weird.
Oh my God. You're from the future.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Is
might know
that-
my mother, Astoria Kennedy.
I know Astoria. Astoria doesn't want... You're Astoria's daughter?
Well, yeah, so in the future she'll have 6.
I'm so sorry. Forget I said that.
I'm child number 4. It's okay. They were kind of giving up by
Oh my God.
that time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's me.
And you're from the future.
So,
I am from the future.
in
Wha-
case you can tell by my incredibly fashionable cargo shorts.
Oh my God.
Yes, we are from the future, and we woke up here, and in the future, we're your counselors in training. So, like, in a sense, it is a pilot program, but we're just, like, 90 years early.
I am still running this camp in 90 years?
You're really good at it.
But you kind of left us.
Buddy,
Oh.
Why did I leave?
there was a
Well-
situation in a temple. You're fine, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I will say it has to do with Astoria's future husband, aka my father, who tried to pull a little bitch move.
He's
And-
kind of a lump.
Yeah, he sucks. He's not even born yet.
Speaking of the butterfly, oh no, but then Linden wouldn't exist. No. that's-
Anyway, I called her Astoria Kennedy, but that is not her name at the time. She will marry a Kennedy. Yeah. One of those. You don't know the Kennedys yet. They're not on the national stage. In about 25 years.
No,
They're gonna try and
is,
bomb Cuba.
Just like all the blood has rushed out of her face. Like she is pale.
Yeah, this.
Very confused, very alarmed.
So, like, what questions do you have for us? Anything?
Why?
You can't really tell, but we're actually quite concerned. At least I am.
Why are you here though?
Well, like I said, we woke up in a dream. So we were dreaming, and there were a bunch of blue eyeballs, and then there was one that was really big, and then it kind of became like a fire, and then it kind of like streaked toward camp, and then everything went black, and then we woke up, and then we were in the forest, and then we were just on the ground, like not in a bed or anything, and then we woke up, and then we walked back here, and then we saw that guy Rurik.
We're being
chopping a
tested.
tree.
We're being tested. God dog says we're being tested.
So you guys had the dream too?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's not good.
Common ground, baby. Okay.
That's not good. I don't like that.
What are we gonna do?
Wait, so where and when did you fall asleep?
Me?
If you had the same dream.
In my cabin last night. I
In
did
19
not time travel. I do not know what you were talking about.
I wonder if anybody else time traveled into the woods at the same time too. Maybe we're just the chosen ones.
Did you
I
recognize?
hope you don't take this offensively. I really y'all are children.
We're actually
We're young
highly
adults.
capable. I don't know if we told you
19.
we're actually counselors in training. So
I just saved a bird.
see counselors.
Fair point. All right.
I
I'll
can
drive.
give you that one.
T training. But
Is
anyway,
So is there something you're trying to do?
ideally, I would love to stop the fireball from streaking at the earth. At the camp. I don't know if that's like a realistic goal. My teachers say to set SMART goals, so I don't actually remember what that stands for, but it's some sort of like acronym.
Should we let the camp
Substantive.
burn? Is that what it's meant to be?
Evidently, probably not, buddy, right?
I'm not sure. I'll have to think
That's-
of this later.
So I've been checking the sky all day though. I haven't seen like a fireball.
It felt a lot more metaphysical to me.
Like the feeling of a fireball.
Yes.
Is there anyone here who knows a lot about like oracles or signs?
Do you have a divination
We're a
professor
summer
yet?
camp? No.
Oh.
I'm
We-
looking at Buddy with.
We almost added like an arts and crafts director this year, but we didn't have the budget.
That's so sad.
Yes, Linden.
That smells like my
it's
fault.
it's a difficult economy. The stock market crashed. I don't know if you're aware.
Why did I do this?
We don't have a ton of money.
I just heard oracles, and I assumed that Buddy knows a lot about oracles.
I just have to say thank you for investing in the arts during this incredibly troubling time. It's just really important for people to have access to the tools they need to express themselves.
Wait, this camp invests in the arts?
Yeah,
Not-
in the
if it
development
helps,
of young
not
people.
yet.
Not yet.
In the development of young people, that's an artistry in itself.
Where?
The odds that a musician is going to come through that hallowed driveway, come on.
Where does this camp promote the arts?
Wait, they can't drive yet.
We also
They
don't have a
They have
driveway. We
cars
don't
in
have streets.
1930s.
Oh, did they?
walk.
Okay.
They'll drive their
Yeah.
Model T bus.
Boxed into our historical
I'm-
context.
So I'm assuming that y'all have, in the future, I don't know, do you fly places?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
depending on the situation.
Well, that's nice.
Sometimes we take golf carts.
Oh. I don't know what that is.
Me either.
That's
It drives.
okay.
Have you ever played golf?
No.
It's kind of a fruitless game. But you have
How
a
does it-
tiny
Is it like
white.
Danger Arrow? How does it work?
It is kind of like Danger Arrow. So you have a tiny
Oh.
dimpled white aerodynamic ball, and you put it on a little like tee, and it sits there. And then you take a big old club and you hit it, and you try and get it in a hole.
Is someone near the hole that could be struck by the ball?
That happened to my mom twice.
Oh my god. It sounds like a great game.
It was considered an accident both times.
Oh.
But you don't have to make it be an accident.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right, we need to
Anyway.
make a plan. Let's
Okay,
make a
okay,
plan.
Okay.
Wait.
Plans.
for what?
Another
Vanilla.
thing we would love to do is to get back to I mean, I'm speaking for the group, but in my mind I would really love to get back to the present day because I kind of have like a job that I need to
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for?
Linden's an influencer.
Oh.
so
I don't know what that.
Do you know what that means?
No, does that mean you influence people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're similar like a lobbyist or a politician that, makes
Yes.
policy to influence
You could say
how people
that.
live their lives.
I lobby for my tailor Renee all the time. All I do left and right is I lobby for everyone to go see my tailor.
I know what a tailor is.
Yes.
This is great.
Yes, so that's the kind of stuff I do. So like he'll make me things and like I'll wear them around and tell everyone that Renee made them. And then everyone will be like, "Oh, I should go see Renee. That's a really cool outfit and I could get a really cool outfit." But the problem is I do most of my business and you're not going to know what this is, but I do most of my business on this it's like a phone, a rotary phone.
I'm assuming it still has power, so you probably could turn it on.
Yeah. So I do that. I'm like, it's just like a phone, but it
Vanilla
does so
is
much more.
visibly shocked.
The little apple comes up.
Oh my god. And you can use that to talk to people.
Yes, it doesn't really work here, unfortunately. So it's kind of useless right now.
Wow. We have a phone, but it's like a landline in me and Mila's cabin. We have one phone. And usually we just call to tell people that we need more food or I don't know, there's not really.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god, we have
Understandable.
so many new recipes we can introduce you to.
True. Oh my god.
That's
Are
actually,
you
I
in-
like food.
Oh, but
Are you and Mila together?
We live together.
Are you in a relationship? Have you DTR'd?
I don't. I think we're work colleagues.
Oh.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question.
I was thinking
No,
of
no,
the
no.
conspiracy board. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Vanilla, have you seen any paw prints around
In the woods.
anywhere?
I mean, there's the standard. We have brown bears up here. We have various timber wolves and the like.
Do you have a religion center?
No, everyone who comes to this camp kind of has their own sort of religious background or what they're interested in, and so we usually try to keep it, we let people say grace before meals, but
Do you have
Buddy, then-
anything that's changed from this year, from last year?
That's weird. My camera exploded.
It's a sign.
Oh no.
We're good.
The eye.
We're maybe surviving.
Timeline.
God, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Is there something that's changed from last year to this year? Like something new you invested in, or some new technology you purchased for the camp, or
No, not at the moment. As it stands, we are kind of just running our standard program. Kids show up, they spend time either at the lake swimming, or they. Let's try this one more time.
hey.
No, they either spend time swimming at the lake, shooting archery with gams, we're just running kind of the program we always run. You can come to the nature center,
Cool.
hang out here with Shoot. He knows
Shoot?
stuff. Yeah, no, Shoot.
What does he know about?
Nature, primarily. He runs the nature lodge. I don't know, Shoot, what do you... Shoot, kind of looks up. He seems very much like, y'all remember that Disney movie Atlantis?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very much the male protagonist from Atlantis, kind of blonde,
Milo.
circle glasses, Milo.
Milo.
In general, disheveled, seems to subsist off of coffee grounds. Kind of looks up from a book that he's been studying and is like, yes, hello. And Final's like, Milo, do you want to talk to him about what we do here at the Natures? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he kind of closes the book, runs over and is like, well, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but Taletraeder is actually on a pretty interesting location. The woods here, they don't necessarily follow the rules.
What do you mean by that?
Have you ever gone hiking here?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did
yes.
on the way from our sleeping ground.
Have you noticed that the kind of animals and wildlife that exist in this woods seem a little bit more durable or resilient, and they seem to reproduce at higher rates?
I can't say I noticed that, but I did notice that the trees were really close together.
That's part of it. The red and white elms here, they grow faster, and their leaves, I'm sorry, I geek out a little bit about the sexual dimorphism of trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I had my lab equipment here, I could show you.
Oh, where's your lab?
Back in Georgia.
Oh,
Quags and
I said Georgia. I don't know if there's actually a
There
continental
is-
United
there's
States around
Georgia.
here.
There is.
I
Right.
come from Philadelphia, so
Just in case anyone needs to take a midnight train or anything.
the devil
like
go
that.
down,
Exactly. There's a place for people to go.
Linden is thinking about adding the different trees to the conspiracy board now that she's heard about their sexual activity. So
Oh my god.
just gonna tuck that note away in my brain.
I like it.
I'm remembering the important things.
Can you talk to these trees?
Yeah. No, I mostly just watch and listen.
Could anyone talk to these trees?
I probably.
I'll try. I'll try.
Do you have speak to plants?
No.
I don't have speak to plants, but I'd like to maybe charm them.
Do you have charm plants?
I do. I have channel divinity, charm animals, and plants.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Nature cleric, baby.
Sick as fuck. Holy god.
But I'm not doing it right now. I'm just pondering the possibilities, and also pondering whether this is Quag's great ancestor.
Probably it has quagmire energy.
Zooming through
This
there.
conversation, I mean.
Well, so Finala and Mila have both kind of entered the conversation, and Finala's like, "Well, you're welcome to stay at the camp until we see the sky on fire." I'm
Finala,
sorry.
How
I
did
don't
you
know.
come to this camp?
How did I mean, there's a whole backstory, the land and the lake, and there's a bunch of.
So you're attached to this land?
That is very much true, yes.
Did you know the lake looks like a skull?
I don't think that's true. I think it doesn't really have a shape. It's a
We
lake.
should go to the lake.
Is East Camp started yet? I mean, is there a camp nearby? Another one?
No.
Oh.
Should there be?
Yeah,
No,
would you
no,
like
I
one to
mean,
be?
maybe. But
That's got to be a post-depression development once people have the money.
What do you mean
coming in.
depression?
Don't worry about it.
it's all
You're
good, honestly.
great.
This
Everything
camp
is
will thrive.
great.
Okay.
Should we bring up the
Stock
you know,
market?
no, the stuff that was done to the land recently
Maybe, yes. That would be a good idea.
in the forest? I do not have message or any other kind of speaking telepathically, so I'm just whispering.
We do
that.
have our rapport spores we could activate. But yes, so Fanala, just for like a little bit more context, and like definitely don't let this like influence anything or like change your mind or anything about anything. The current situation is you were kidnapped and taken to a tomb in a temple in the bottom of a wealthy baron's basement.
Oh my
And
god.
so don't worry, like we got you out. I mean,
I feel like I should do push-ups or something. I don't.
No, it's all good. It's totally good.
You'll be
As you
fine.
are, you got out. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
you're
anyway.
like awesome in the future. I just want to say I'm a huge fan.
that's
It got
true.
really bad, but you were
But-
okay.
Yes, actually, Buddy was the only one who was there. The rest of us were helping remotely, working remotely. But anyway, so then you came back and then decided that it was time to put a bunch of wards around the forest and then divorce yourself from the land. But not like divorce, but just go like literally physically go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So that maybe the wards would be like a little bit stronger. I gotta be honest, I don't really understand your reasoning on that, but we'll get there. Anyway,
I haven't done that.
well, I know that's what I meant, like don't let this influence your behavior in any way, but I'm wondering if maybe this provides context for the situation we're in now.
Like how we got here.
Does
maybe.
Finn
How
exist?
did you get here, though?
Probably through hell.
Oh.
The sign.
That's what I believe personally. I don't think it's necessarily the objective truth, but that's what I personally
This
believe.
is a
Okay.
journey we're to be on. God
So does that
dog
mean we
says
shouldn't
so.
be here? Wait, tell us more about what God Dog says.
God dog says we should be here. We're being tested. This is a journey. We must figure out what the next step is to be.
Well, we've got the opening campfire coming up tonight.
Do you have any notable campers coming this year?
No,
Just normal ones? Okay. I was
for
just
the
wondering.
most part.
Oh my gosh, what if my parents show up as campers? That'd be kind of cute.
That'd be
Wait,
so
they're
cute.
not 90 years old. It could be my grandparents. Anyway, okay. Well, if you need any help with anything, like let us know. Like I said, we're counselors in training, CITs. So, we can we're authorized to help out.
Well, I think kind of the biggest thing right now is I know Rurik's over at the fire pits kind of building a large fire for tonight. If you would help him out, if that's okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, I will tell
Yep,
him that
that's
you
great.
sent us so that he is not allowed to say no.
He wouldn't. Between you and me, Rurik, he hits the bottle a bit. He probably wouldn't say anything.
Would
Okay.
he throw anything into a fire?
What do you mean?
Like marshmallows?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god.
Buddy, I don't think we have to worry about that.
Oh,
Hopefully.
okay.
All right, so the adventurers go off to build a fire with Rurik, and I think this is actually probably a good place to call it quits for the day. Thank y'all for joining this, us on this journey. Taletraeder chapter 6 question mark.
It's going to be
but
6 for the next 3 weeks, I decided.
I want that. for an extended kind of blip on the Taletraeder timeline. Thank you so much, adventurers, for being willing to experiment and kind of learn things along the way. Chat, thank you for chatting it up as well. I don't know how we normally sign this thing off. Is there,
Do we? I think we like chat and then like in the chat and then don't we raid?
We will raid, yes.
Yes.
I love
Just
a
a
raid.
couple other things to say. Claire will be back tomorrow evening for girls' night playing Monster Camp. So show up for that. What else? And we'll be back next week.
Woohoo!
I will also be here next week.
Yes.
Same people.
We're here for it. Who knows what's
Maybe
happening?
we'll learn
Yes,
more
Claire-
about the economy.
I am absolutely going to be doing so much research into
I know.
1929.
I
Like,
need historical
what do they
context.
know?
I just learned that marshmallows date back to as early as 2000 BC.
That's
No
horrifying.
way.
Were they
That's
made out
on
of
me.
horse hooves?
Wait, were they in the marsh?
They were considered a delicacy deemed worthy only for gods and royalty.
Well, I mean,
They were made by Egyptians by extracting sap from a mallow plant and mixing it with nuts and honey.
Ugh, the Egyptians. That's amazing.
They probably do not resemble modern marshmallows, and I doubt they were called marshmallows. So
Yeah, I got mad doubts about that.
I was just curious. I'm not correcting you. We can fully go with
Hell yeah.
marshmallows being uncanon. In
I think marshmallows could be
1930.
canon, but Fenella doesn't know about them.
They
Yeah,
didn't
that
make it
feels-
to Taletraeder
that
yet.
Not with
feels
the
right.
current branding.
Everybody make that note.
Oh, well, the Girl Scouts discovered them and invented s'mores in 1927. So really, we're not that.
Juliet Lowe.
So it's like we're on like the cutting edge right now, essentially, of
absolutely.
marshmallow and marshmallow technology.
The forefront
like-
of medicine.
Yeah, on the come up. So, like, if we're in the middle of the forest somewhere, it makes sense. And, internet didn't exist. So, how are we supposed to.
As someone who lived in the middle of the woods for the first 18 years of my life, me as Corson, it takes a long time for trends to get there.
Yeah.
So, something exciting that I just found, Persephoroth is playing Dungeons & Dragons right now, so I think we should raid her.
Heyo.
let's go!
Woohoo!
I'm going to put that in the
On
thing,
to the raid.
and we're gonna head there. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
Bye.